Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back another video day. And today, we have found out who the Houston Rockets will play in the knockout round. It is the Golden State Warriors. With all the history these two teams have, it's only fit that the first time both of these teams will be playing in their first NBA knockout or, NBA Cup, final or not final. It's not finals, but it's the part of the 8-team knockout round. Both teams participating in it for the first time, and you have them matching up against each other. With all the history they have, we haven't seen these two teams play in a very meaningful game where it's all on the line. Winner advances, loser goes home since the 2018-19 season, but many playoff matchups in the years before. If I'm correct, I think the 2015-16 season, the Rockets lost in the first round of the Warriors. I think the year before, in the 2014-15 year, they lost to the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals, but it wasn't much of a close series. And then, obviously, when things got more interesting, that was when the Rockets were a 1 seed in 2017-18 season. The Warriors were the 2 seed, and both of them met up in the Western Conference Finals. And the Rockets had a way better team than they had in the years before. And that honestly is my favorite Rockets basketball I've ever watched. And I mean it. Like that series was insane. Now the last two games didn't go the Rockets' way. They were up 3-2, and obviously we all know what happened with Chris Paul. That really hurt the Rockets, and then they lost in Game 7, one game short of the NBA Finals. Then the next year, there were some really good regular season games between the Rockets in that 2018-19 season, but the next year, the Rockets and the Warriors meet up in the playoffs again. This time it was in the semifinals, and I think the Warriors won the first 2 games in Golden State, and the Rockets won the next 2 in Houston. And then Game 5, it was crazy. Went down to the wire. Remember, KD got hurt at the end of the game. Warriors win like by 2 or 3 points, something like that. It was a crazy end to the game. Which really all those games are close in that series. And then, next game, no KD. You think the Rockets would be able to take advantage, just like the Warriors did to them the year before. Curry had like 0 points at halftime. It finished with like 30 or 33 points, something like that. Rockets lose, go home. And then really over the next couple of years, you saw one or the other was absolutely terrible. I mean, 2019-20 season, the Rockets were still good, but the Warriors were terrible because they had a bunch of injuries and KD was gone. Then, as the seasons went by, you saw the Warriors improving, but you saw the Rockets getting worse. And now we're in a stage where both teams are really good. I think, honestly, if you ask me, unbiased, I think the Rockets are a better team. Look, I think if you look at it, the Warriors, I think who has the more talented player, obviously it's going to be the Warriors with Steph Curry. He's one of the best players in basketball. But I think on who has the more talented team, I think it's the Rockets. With the way they play defensively, you've seen good teams, say that they're one of the most hardest teams to face in the league with how good they are defensively and how hard they attack defensively, how great they are with the offensive glass and giving their offense second chances. They have been a really good story this year, and it's been really good to see. And right now you see the Warriors are 12-8 or 12-9 now, lost 5 in a row. The Rockets are 15-7, have won 10 of their last 13. So I'm not gonna say that I think the Rockets are a lock to beat the Warriors in this game, because I think Curry in a meaningful game against this Rockets team, you never know what can happen. Curry's been a Rockets killer. So I'd hope and I'd like to think the Rockets have a great chance to win this game on Wednesday night on December 11th. But I'm not going to guarantee that, because there's a big monster who showed up so many times before against this team. This is a guy we're talking about who had 0 points in a halftime game against this team one time in an elimination game. Winner advances, loser goes home game. Or no. Yeah, that's what it was. The Rockets won that game. They wouldn't advance. But if they did lose, the Warriors won. They'd advance. The Rockets lost. They'd go home. It wasn't like that the other way around because it was a game 6 and the Rockets were down 3-2. But what happens? Curry's absolutely terrible in the first half. Had 0 points. Next thing you know, he finishes the game with like 33 points. So he has been too good at killing the Rockets in the past to guarantee a Rockets win on Wednesday night. But to me, even though I can't guarantee the Rockets win Wednesday, I think the Rockets are the more talented team because I think as a roster they have more of a skilled team. With Şengün and everything he's doing, you have Van Vliet, him doing a great job facilitating for this team, and Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, and Jabari Smith Jr., how good they've been defensively and offensively. And then, of course, Tari Eason and Amen Thompson, who absolutely killed the Warriors last time they played the Rockets. Tari Eason and Amen Thompson were really the only reasons the Rockets came back from a 31-point deficit against this Warriors team. So they're obviously have a big stamp on this team. And I think Ime Udoka as well is just a big reason why this team is so good. And this game will be interesting because this is Ime Udoka's chance to get some revenge on Steve Kerr and Stephen Curry and the Warriors. I don't think it really evens up to those guys beating them in an NBA championship, but definitely can get a tiny bit of revenge. But this is going to be a fun matchup. I really do. I mean, I was watching some like I mentioned earlier. I was watching some highlights in for the old Rockets teams in the 2018-19 season, 2017-18 season, and all I could think about was what with the Rockets who were still rolling back then, which was about a week ago. All I could think about watching playoff highlights from that the 2-year span for the Rockets was it will feel so good if this team could get to the stage that the Rockets are in, that these Rockets were in. And funny enough, watching all those Rockets Warriors highlights, now the Rockets are in a playoff type mentality. This isn't a playoff game, but this is like playoff mode. This isn't the playoffs, but this is near like the playoffs. This is a winner advances, loser goes home game. And if the Rockets win this whole thing, this whole cup, everybody on the team gets I think it's like $100,000 or maybe it's $500,000. I don't know. It's a lot of money. It's 6 figures for every player, including 2-way contract guys. So, this means a lot. It doesn't mean as much as the actual playoffs or the actual finals or winning it all, but this is the second best thing to that. So I think this will be very, very good for the Rockets, just the fact that they're a young team who doesn't have any playoff experience. And I hear so many people say this, and I'm going to wrap it up here. I've seen so many people say that they don't think the Indiana Pacers make it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year against the Boston Celtics if they don't have the run that they had in the NBA Cup, beating up on teams like the Celtics and the Bucks in the NBA Cup, and then going into the to the last game, the championship game against the Lakers. They didn't win, but they had the experience of going through a championship run like that is what that Indiana team had. And they had that experience going to Vegas, beating Milwaukee and Boston, and then, end up going to the championship game against the Lakers. Sure, they lost, but I think that gave them the experience. You see a lot of people say that they don't think they beat, or they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Celtics without that. And I don't think so either. I think maybe they beat Milwaukee in the first round without without the experience. But I there's no way they win a 7-game series against the New York Knicks, even though the New York Knicks got banged up in that series. There's no way they take down the Knicks without that experience. And so they would have never been in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think there's a solid chance they would have lost in the first round, but with no Dame and Giannis, I'd say probably they'd make it to the second round. But the Knicks take care of them easily without that experience that they had in November and December in the NBA Cup. So that's the Rockets. The Rockets have that chance now to do that. It looks like the Rockets are going to be in position to be in the playoffs as of right now in December. So with the Rockets in this Cup stage, I'd love to see them make it far because I think it gives them experience, and you can transfer the experience that you're going to have in this December tournament over to April when you're in the actual playoffs, and that's going to be great for this team. Let me know your thoughts on the Rockets matchup against the Warriors for December 11th, which will be at 8:30 in Houston on TNT. Love seeing the Rockets getting some well-deserved national television time. This video begins enjoyed, and peace out, go Rockets.